the only way you can maybe get that is if you give him a little bit less as far as a player in return, and then kind of make a draft pick a possibility, but a conditional one, depending on if we resign him. Same thing I'm trying to think with Wayne Simmonds is, we're gonna get him. We're not rentals. We don't pick up rental guys, so it's someone that is got to have a want to play here. Simmonds might, because he did play with LA, so there's a chance that he likes Southern California, kind of wants to be here if that's a possibility. But where the Ducks next year, as far as who they can sign and for how much, and does that work out in Simmonds' favor? So it's a little rough on both of those trades because the salary cap, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's just getting older at that point too. Yeah. So you can't. I don't think they're gonna make a move on either one of those guys. They're nice pieces if you can bring them in as a rental and not have to give up the world. But I just don't see Bob Murray making that move. Chase also says, should Murray give chances to some of the young prospects? Absolutely should. Instead of bringing in a bunch of guys who are going to float between the AHL and NHL, they maybe bring up guys after a little bit of AHL seasoning. I wouldn't mind seeing Sam Steele or Max Jones get a crack at. I don't think they're going to make the opening night lineup just because that's not Bob Murray's way or Randy Carlyle's way. They always like to make you earn your minutes. No. So unless you're a Connor McDavid-esque kind of player, Austin Matthews.
I'm sorry, who?
Oh, I'm letting the Jesus drop off because he's no longer that guy. He's no longer that guy. I just feel like they're not going to let him make the roster. It's just going to be they're going to go to the AHL, earn their keep, maybe play 20, 25 games, and then get a call up and start playing a little bit here and there. I'd be shocked to see him make the opening night line.
No, I think there's less spots now when you look at the fact that they brought in Gibbons and Rowney. I think there's maybe one spot now for them to get in because you've got Perry, Getzlaff, Kessler, Henry, Raquel, Silverberg, Cogliano, Eves, and then Kasha. So, though that's essentially right there, that's your top 9. So, I think the only guy who could maybe fit in there is Troy Terry. I think that's the one that kind of makes the most sense. Played a couple games at the end of last year. The more experienced of the entire bunch that is coming in. So, I think he could kind of go in on that third line. And then you've just got Rowney, Gibbons, and Richie maybe to solidify that fourth line. There's less spots. And I agree with you. I'd rather see Steele and Jones and Mahura play some time with the Gulls, at least to start, see how they do. And, of course, if they do great, then call them up eventually.
Yeah, me and Pat were able to go to the development camp for the Ducks, and I think Max Jones ended up getting hurt or something like that, so he wasn't someone that played in the actual game. But we got to see a little bit of Sam Steele and got to see Troy Terry. And Troy Terry, to me, looked ready for that jump. He was out there. The puck stayed on his stick. Like bad hard passes or anything like that. It just stayed on his stick. He knew what to do with it, where to put it, and what area to go to. I think he scored one of the goals. He assisted on the other one. He did a very good job in that. I feel like he's that next step and could probably fill in. Unfortunately, we didn't see Max Jones, but Sam Steele didn't, really impress me. Watching that, he was around, he was quicker, and he was one of those guys that were there. But Troy Terry really, to me, seems like he's that next step up. He's the first one as far as forwards go to make that jump from up into the Ducks main lineup. Hopefully.
Yeah, I would agree with you, man. Troy Terry's the guy that's going to come up. He was absolutely noticeable and dominated that depth camp, which he should. Yeah. He should dominate that, right? He's the guy that's been noticeable as a prospect. Any thoughts on that, Eddie? You think Terry's ready? We only saw him in one game, then he got hurt, right, at the end of last season.
It's tough. With talking about Sam Steele at the development camp, it's one game too, right? So a guy could have an off game. It's such a small sample size. It's great. You want to see them do well, and it's against fellow prospects, so. The top guy should do well. A guy like Troy Terry should do well in that type of setting. I think he's the most likely one. Like I said, because he played a couple games last year. He's a year older than all those guys coming up. I think he's ready. I think he's at least earned a shot to play. I'm surprised he didn't play more when he got called up and signed his deal last year. We talked about on the post-game show how he should be playing those last few games of the regular season, how maybe he should have gotten a shot in games 3 or 4 in the playoffs just because things were going so bad for the Ducks. So I think he fits in unless they do something. I think he fits right now barely into the top 9 if you're going to put Nick Ritchie down in the fourth with Gibbons and Rowney and whoever you decide to put down there. I think he could work really well on maybe a line with Henrik and Perry, or maybe with Henrik and Cashin, see how he does there. I think that was the line he was on when he played, I think, was with Henrik and Cash. He took Ritchie's spot there, and he played pretty well in the small sample size we saw. So I'm excited to see how he does. I still have my reservations about what type of player he's going to be. But at this point, I'd rather see how he does, and if he does well, then you don't have to make an addition, and if he doesn't, then maybe you can do something closer to the trade deadline.
Yeah, and just to kind of finish up with Troy Terry there, I thought he did a really good job not only in development camp, but the one thing that I did notice that seemed to kind of push him out was the physical side of things when he did play those couple of games for Anaheim. He seemed to get pushed around a little bit. But it kind of falls into at least that little bit of mantra that Bob Murray has, younger, quicker. And so, he's had the offseason to get a little bit better, hopefully a little bit stronger, and at least we saw a little bit of that in the development camp. So we hope that he's kind of at that next stage to hopefully jump in there and really kind of impact the Ducks, hopefully.
He's a small guy. He's 5'11", $161 on Cap Friendly, so he's not a big dude.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the new NHL. It's smaller, quicker, and he's still young enough that he's got to grow into that NHL body.
So, Derek, the last question of the day for us, obviously because we're not live, we'll have to get to that. I love being live when we do live shows. Jay, you'll love it too because people just pop in all the time.
That'd be cool.
But when do you think the third jersey reveal will happen, and do you expect it to see it opening night? Because it's the 25-year anniversary. We already know the Ducks logo on the ice is going to change. They're going to have a patch, most likely with a 25, I'm sure it's going to be on their helmets.
Oh, okay.
It's going to happen. They got to reveal the jersey, I feel like, before opening night.
They usually do.
Whether or not they wear it opening night, I don't know. The Ducks are weird. They just don't do things by the book. I mean, we saw...
Everything's a secret, too.
Yeah, they try to make everything a secret. They want no one to know anything about them. It's like, dude, nobody already knows anything about you anyway because you're in a small market that no one cares about.
Wouldn't it be typical for them to just wear it on opening night and not release anything? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Or do it in warm-ups and then not wear it for the game.
And then we're not $500 each.
Or they wear the normal one and then Wild Wing walks around with a new one. Oh, yeah, this is it, by the way.
Yeah, we only have one. We only have one.
I think it's ticketed for opening night. I mean, if the rumors are true and it's the old logo and they're playing the Red Wings and they set all that up and they had to set it up through the Red Wings to make sure they were okay with them coming to play in Anaheim to start their season. It kind of makes sense that they would do the retro type jersey on opening night and that'd be the third jerseys, but they have to release it before then. I know it'd be typical Ducks for them to just wait and release it that day, but come on.
I would think it's got to leak out before they even if they didn't want it to, it would leak out before.
Yeah, I want to see it before October. I mean, that's a long wait, and I mean, you got to get some kind of marketing out there so that people can see it and want to buy it and get ready for that game. I don't think you can't wait to the first night and just kind of show it to everybody.
And the way the free agency's gone, we got to start stirring up some sort of positive vibes here for the fans. Hey, you may not know anyone we signed, but buy their jersey. It's new.
They need to do it, man. They have to put it out. If they don't, it's going to be really disappointing. Everyone's been talking about it. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's they're playing the Red Wings on opening night or opening home game for the Ducks? Do you think they're going to lose 7-2 like they did 25 years ago?
Not against that Detroit team.
You mean Thomas Vanek and Mike Green? Don't scare you.
Yeah. No, I think we'll have hopefully a better outcome. I would assume so. We'll kind of see where everyone is at health-wise and who's on there. But positive that Eves is coming back. There's no significant off-season surgeries. The only question mark really is Kessler. So as long as everyone else is kind of there, I think the Ducks are in a better spot to beat Detroit than they were when they were owned by Disney.
Yeah, so let's hope we see those jerseys here on opening night. But that's it for us. We're going to go ahead and go to the interview with Blake McLaughlin and Jack Perbix, the Ducks' third and fourth round picks from this season. So let's just sign off here, guys, and let everyone enjoy. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you guys hopefully probably the end of the month once Montour gets that contract and we start seeing some RFA signings come in. Well, that'll be the next Trevor Mighty. But for now on, just enjoy the interview with sorry to say their names, with Blake and Jack, and we'll talk to you guys in a couple weeks.
All right, so we've got Jack Perbix and Blake McLaughlin joining the show. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Great. Thanks for having us.
No problem. So, we were just talking about the Dodgers game. Obviously, you guys went to the game today. I wanted to ask you guys about if you had a Dodger dog.
I did not, no. A Dodger dog. Did you have one? I actually did. Yeah. We got tickets where we got free hot dogs and popcorn and nachos, so I took full advantage of that.
Is it as good as they say it is? Because I don't think it is.
I'd have to agree with you. I was expecting a little more, but I was hungry, so I ate it.
Awesome.
All right, so it's the first development camp for both of you. I mean, obviously, you guys, like I said today, been out to the Dodger game and enjoying California. How's the experience been for you guys so far?
Pretty surreal. Yeah, it's very warm here.
Is it the first time out to
Minnesota?
Yeah, is it the first time out to California for both of you?
Yeah. It's definitely different walking out and seeing palm trees rather than a nice woods. Yeah. Woods. Yeah. It's different out here.
Oh, cool. So you guys have obviously been doing the development camp, and for those obviously of us who don't get to enjoy that luxury, have you guys actually met any of the current roster players on the Ducks? Have anyone come in and talk to you guys or give you a pep talk or something like that?
No, not. I haven't yet. There's been a couple guys working out when we're practicing, but they haven't really talked to us. They're kind of just in to do their workouts, and then they get out of there pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that Scotty was in there today. Did you guys get a chance to work with him any, or was he just kind of working with a lot of the D guys?
Yeah, he's a great guy. We got to work with him. We're forward, so he didn't work with us as much, but we had a couple drills with a forward, played as D, and that's not my specialty, so he had to help me out a little bit on that, but yeah, it was great. Yeah, you're not good at defense too much.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, your first time in California, you guys are kind of from the Midwest, and I've got family back from the Midwest, and I got a real sticking point with them. They say they go to the beach when they are actually going to the lake. I just got to know, do you guys call it the beach when you guys go to a lake?
Like it depends. So, if we're going, like, the big thing where I'm from is Zorba's. That's like on our lake, and that's like the big hot spot. It's got like beach volleyball, and it's got like bean bags. Some people call it cornholes. I still don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
It's awesome out here. Ever since I went to Ohio, I came back and I was telling him about cornhole, and the looks I got, that was 10 years ago. I got looks about calling it that.
Cornhole is the funnest game ever.
It's so good.
But it's beanbags.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's beanbags. But, so anyways, yeah. I would call Zorba's. If I went to Zorba's, it'd be the beach. Otherwise, if I'm just going to go hang out on the lake, I'd say I'm going to the lake.
No, I can't stand it because if there's no waves, if it's not connected to where a whale can get in, I can't call it a beach.
Well, I mean, if there's freshwater whales, I mean, maybe it could get up to Grand Rapids. I don't swim in the ocean because of the sharks.
Yeah. We dug up an old interview. I think it was of yours, Blake, with an Ivan Halinka interview you had, where they asked you what you'd be doing if you weren't playing hockey. Do you remember what you said to them?
Yeah, I said I'd move to California and be a surfer.
So you've at least now you're in the Ducks organization. You're down in SoCal. You've kind of got that backup option now. You can at least pursue being a surfer in California.
Oh, for sure. If I ever come out here and actually get a chance to play on either San Diego or Anaheim, I will for sure on an off day be on the beach surfing all day. I'll be in the air conditioning inside my house.
Yeah.
So you guys were roommates at the combine. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.